Hey, it's MK with another Baby Got Scrap pocket page for you guys again today. So I dug out this, oh my gosh, never-ending sticker sheet from Simple Stories, and I have a few stickers on here that I think will work within my pocket pages. I also brought back all of the embellishments that I did not use on the last, yesterday's pocket page, because it's about the exact same thing, and when you use the same elements but then add a few more, it still looks very cohesive in your album, even though you're not using the exact same supplies. I also brought in some branding strips from 49 and Market that were sitting on my desk, a couple word plasticky things from Heidi Swap. Thought maybe I would use those up. A roll of washi that has not been opened yet that I got from a Not Just for Boys Kit Club kit. I have a pocket card that I've been hanging on to forever. Another chipboard piece from Simple Stories. This cute little branch that, oh my gosh, look at this 49 and Market little worm. It's a caterpillar, but oh my gosh, it's adorable. I have two little things from Doodlebug that I picked up last year, and a fussy cut thing from Heidi Swap. The trees, I mean, are from Heidi Swap, and then that that burlap piece is a die from Altenew. I have my scraps that I'm going to use. Now, I pulled out this brown scrap first without realizing that I'm going to be bringing in that wood grain from the last layout. So I'm not going to be using that brown scrap. And then I have these journal cards or title cards or whatever they're called from Teresa Collins back in the day that I needed to use because I only have this one sheet of green for my photos. So I'm going to cover the back of my photos with that with those 4x6 cards. It just worked out perfect. So the first thing I'm going to do is cut up this tree paper. Now, I really struggle with real life paper like this because I feel like it is such a beautiful paper that it takes away from my beautiful photos. Like they're competing. So pocket pages is absolutely perfect to use them in because I'm going to get that nice dark green around the edge, but not so much to where it's going to take away from my photos. So I like using them for this particular type of project. Now I'm going to take my big trimmer and cut up the pieces that I can't do with my little trimmer, and then I'm going to bring back my little trimmer because I really like how compact my little trimmer is, and my big trimmer just seems so big and bulky, and it still scares me. I'm not used to it yet. I feel like I'm getting better by the day, but I really do like to use the smaller cuts with the smaller trimmer. That's just something that I've been going to. So I left all this part in because I felt like I took it out too much in yesterday's video, that I wanted to leave it in for today's video. So what I do is I just make sure that I go through all of my papers. I get all my 4x6 cards that I need. If I have any 4x3 cards, I make sure that I have all of that, and I make sure that I dispense the paper throughout the project. So like this wood grain, I only had one, let's say it was a 2x12 piece. Well, I wanted it to be on all 4 photos of this smaller insert that I have, that it's 4x6 front and back. So it's 2 4x6s, but front and back that's 4. Oh my gosh, it's so confusing. But I wanted that wood grain to be shown, it's sheen, throughout the entire 4 photos because it's all in one pocket, and that's what makes it cohesive. So I went ahead and I just cut it in half, which the best I could get, which I think is 3/4. I'm not really sure. And then I didn't have enough of this tree paper for the 4th photo. So I'm actually going to just put 2 pieces together. By the time that I put the photo down and around on all of this, on top of all of this, you're not even going to see it. You're barely going to see the wood grain. You're barely going to see the pine needle sticking out. It's just a aesthetically pleasing look, as opposed to I could have just went into my stash, grabbed out 12x12 papers and cut them all up. I mean, honestly, that is what I could have done, but I chose to do it this way instead. Because I just think that it looks good, especially when I cut my 6x4 photos down to a 4x4, and now I have that little bit sticking up. to help with the, placement of the really cool, what am I trying to say? Embellishments. So for this one example, I'm going to use these trees to cover up the 2 inches that my 4x4 photo did not cover up. And now I've got trees on top of trees with a small little wood grain in the back. And it just looks pleasing. It just looks great because those realistic trees in the background aren't going to come out and steal the thunder of my beautiful, still life photos and all that stuff. And so I just really like how that all turned out and looks and all that stuff. And then, of course, I've loved this little saying that says, "Life with you is an adventure," and it's got a picture of my kids down at the bottom. Thank you, baby. And so that way I can, share how much I really enjoy, going out and having a blast with everybody. So, and then I finished it off with those spy glasses, but I do know that it's going to be bothering me that the spy glasses don't touch, and there's like a little gap between the banner and the spy glasses. So I'll address that later. I just don't do it on camera. And then I'm going to take that net and tuck it in so that way it's kind of above and below the photo, and then just use that Adventure Weights little badge to fill in some of the gap. But again, the little net takes away from that realistic tree because it's in the background, but now it's not, taking the spotlight type of deal. And then for this one here, I have a lot of greenery on my photo, and I want the focus to be down in the smaller photo because I'm way up high and I'm taking pictures of my kids playing in the river. Now this is the top of the falls. And so we've made it there. This is the rushing river and everybody's out on these rocks. And so I was way up high trying to get candid pictures of my kids playing on these rocks. And then the larger 12x12 photos are of me down in the rocks with them. So, but this one here, I've got a lot of dead space in the photo, even though it's beautiful greenery, but it made it perfect for this little wander cluster. I'm using one of those beautiful handmade embellishments by Scrapbook Addict, who is Sarah over in Canada. She has an Etsy store where I purchased these from, and I just loved this little cluster with the map. And then I'm tucking in the word wander, and then I added it to that Vicky Boutin little cut apart that I brought in from last layout, but it didn't work, but it worked really well for this one. And now when I put the 2 pocket pages together, they'll be a little bit more cohesive because of the fact that I used similar to but not exact elements going across all my pocket pages. So for this one here, I don't have any more of the elements to bring across except for those frames that I purchased from Sarah as well. And so what I'm going to be doing is all of those cards worked out perfect for me to use as backers for my photos. So I'm going to actually now these are all mostly just still life. They're beautiful tree photos, beautiful sky, and then the trees reaching out to the sky photos. That's all it is. It's just greenery. So I'm not too worried about what, how it's decorated or anything like that. But I have dead space because I can't cut any of these down without losing the reason why I took the photo, right? And so I've got those 2 4x3 pockets that I have to decorate. And I'm just using these cut apart cards for my photo mats. That's it. It doesn't bother me that I just covered them all up. I mean, they've been in my stash probably since 2013. It's about time they got used. But the other pocket card up at the top is definitely going to be spotlighted because it's going to house my title. Now, did I need a title? Not necessarily, no. But I have all of these giant words that I have discovered I don't use. I don't use pre-made words. And I think the reason that is because of the fact that they're all the same. Like I have so many words that say explore, so many words that say family. And I've said this before, and I know I've said this before. They all become very repetitive. And yes, it's in a different font. Yes, it's in a different color. Oh, that's so cool. But every 5th turn of the page in my albums says the same word. and I don't like that. So I avoid them, and I have a big old basket sitting over on the right of me right now as we speak it. It's sitting on the right of me, and my goal for 2023 is to only use what is in that basket for my titles. I know it's going to be a struggle. Now, I did give myself a little cheat, because if I want it to be a large title, so like say I use the word family, but I want it to say family fun, or I want it to say family, I'm trying to think on the fly and it's not working. I have given myself that cheat to go into my smaller sticker alphas and use those to fill in the words, or like in and the and at, things like that. So I have given myself a small little cheat, but as far as creating, a large title with the alphas. Now I do have alphas in this bin. I'm going to say that right now because I didn't show you guys the bin yet. But I do have some alphas in there that are almost gone. They're not my favorite, all that stuff. And that is what, that's what I'll be working with. And hopefully later I will show you guys this bin, so that way you don't think I'm cheating. But yes, I have lots of pre-made words and I just struggle using with them. So that's another challenge that I have given myself throughout 2023, is to use those up. So, and actually I'm going to do a video, I think it's on the 28th. I'm going to be doing a video of my 2023 challenges, and I will go over all of these over again. So that way they're all in one video, instead of, hey, I mentioned this randomly over here, now I'm mentioning it randomly over here, So I'm going to be saying it all over again. So that way you guys can see, collectively what my challenges are for 2023, especially as I move into a new space. All right, so I created a beautiful cluster on the other page. It's basically just a title card. I really like how it came out. I love how that One Canoe 2 backpack fit right in the nook of that frame. I mean, I just had a blast. And now I'm finishing off this side of the layout, and I took that title card, didn't want to cut it up, just glued it on the outside, and I glued everything else to the outside as well. I love that little inchworm, or whatever it's called, you guys, caterpillar. I love that. And then I added a few more things to that other frame, and that's about it. But there's my little cluster. I love how this turned out, you guys. I love those pre-made frames, and then I get to add my personal touches to help me, personalize this page for just me. So if Sarah was to sell, sold like 20 of these, no two are going to be alike, because everybody's going to add what they want to add to their own layouts to make it theirs. So anyways, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I really, truly enjoy playing with my scraps. I've liked, I don't want to say love, but I've liked pulling out all these older supplies from One Canoe 2 and, Simple Stories and all that stuff, and getting them used up. I really do like doing that, and Baby Got Scraps just helps me, because I'm only working with scraps, so I only have a little bit here and a little bit there, and these pocket pages also help me, because it allows me to use just a little bit of this and a little bit of that. So I'm loving this, you guys. This is my favorite month, and I know I've said that. Anyways, what I do keep forgetting to say is that everybody else that is playing along is down below listed. All their links are down there. Just go and click on it and see what they're doing today and how amazing they are using up those scraps. Yay! Go for clean scrapbook rooms in 2023. It's going to be awesome. So go check out everybody else and see what they're up to today. And I will see you guys all later. Bye!